Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's Josh. In today's video we're going to be installing this stuff called drip edge, and we actually run it down the rakes of the roof too, so that way we have a nice straight edge that's more watertight than if you don't put the rake edge on. So if you're wondering what drip edge does, it goes on the edge of your roof, and that way when the water comes down the shingle, it gives you something that isn't wood that won't rot to drip against. If you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. This channel's all about building your own house, saving a ton of money, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video, and smash that like button. Alright, so we're gonna get the camera up on the roof and we're gonna install some drip edge. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put drip edge on this edge. And the first thing you got to do, if you're butting up against the house, typically you would have plywood here, I just haven't got to yet, but we're going to stop that drip edge right here against this fascia board, and it's going to come to this end. And now you don't want to go right past that end. You want to make sure you just stop within like a 1/16 or right flush with it, because you don't want it sticking out past this edge, because your next piece of rake edge coming down will have a hard time butting up correctly. So first get your measurement for your piece that goes on, and then cut it. To cut this stuff is pretty easy. All you need is a pair of tin snips, and these are pretty cheap. These are only like, I don't know, $15, $20. And you can use aviation snips, and there's all kinds of other tools you can use, but I like these. These are very, very simple to use. And you go ahead and just mark your length, then put a straight line on it using a speed square, then a straight line on the face of it like that. Cut that line first, and now you're going to cut the upper part or the top of the piece of drip edge next. Alright, and then you're going to finish off this lip next. Alright, and that's how you cut a piece of drip edge at just a straight square cut. Now when we get to the peak, we're going to have to put a 7/12 on one piece and then just square piece up against that, but I'll show you how to do that. But let's go ahead and install this piece of drip edge. Okay, I went ahead and just tacked one in it, but this stuff only needs to be nailed about every 12 inches apart. So you want to make sure you overlap your roof paper on top of the drip edge, because if water hits the roof paper, it goes over the drip edge and not under onto your fascia board. So go ahead and just tack some nails every 12 inches apart on it. Then always hit one on the edge. And you don't want to put this stuff super tight against this fascia board. You want to keep it where you can lift it up relatively easy. So that piece of drip edge that you see right there, it's already installed, actually put a 7/12, the same pitch of your roof, on it, so that way when your next piece slides up under it that we're going to put in here in a second, it slides up under it, but yet you still have that 7/12 reveal. And I'm going to show you how to cut that 7/12 angle. To cut that 7/12, all you need, let's say this was the piece I was installing up in that peak, right? So you take your little speed square, get on the face of it, right like this, and slide your speed square over until you get a 7 up on the common right there. See that 7 on the common? Oh, right there. 7's on the common. And now you just scribe that angle right there onto the drip edge and cut it. And that's how you get an angle on the drip edge. Alright, so that's the piece that you've seen from down below. So this is the piece I just put on, and as you can see, I ran it past the edge. So that way I'm going to cut it to length, because it's too much to try to measure and get the right distance and all this. And because the stuff's so flexible, so I just run it past after I installed the drip edge at the bottom. So this rake edge is easier to put on now than just cut the length. And then I want to show you the edge here. Alright, so that's what you see from down below is your 7/12, then the piece we just put in slid up under it, and it comes clear back here somewhere. So that just gives you a nice look from down below. So it breaks really well and looks very nice. Alright, let's get back down there. Alright, so all you gotta do is cut this off flush with the drip edge. And to do that, so you have a straight line to go by, just slide your speed square up to where it butts that drip edge. Then just trace your line. And then underneath, just scribe against the drip edge that's sitting there. And then cut along this line, and cut along this line. And then you're just going to run a straight little cut from here to there. And that's how you're going to cut it off. And if you're wondering, we don't put the rake edge under the drip edge just because the water's running down, so the drip edge overlap with the roof paper is fine. So as you can see here, I'm using two hands, so I clearly couldn't hold a camera and do this at the same time. So I just have the camera set up on the ground recording me while I'm doing it, and I have it zoomed up so you can see it better. But if you can see, I did the straight cut first, then the angle cut, and then after I just cut that off square and then made my straight cut back. Alright, and if you didn't notice, I didn't have these nails in here a minute ago before I cut this. That way you can lift this up a little easier to cut. So that way it's not tight against the roof when you're cutting. So as you can see there, got that cut flush with the drip edge and nailed that all the way off every about 12 inches or so. And then if you look from the side, that's what it looks like, and that looks good. And then once your fascia slides up under this, your metal you're wrapping it with, you'll nail that tight, then nail the side tight, and it seals that crack, and then you put a little white caulk there for extra sealant. But yeah, so that is how you install drip edge and a rake edge. That's what it looks like from the side view, and I'm going to show you that peak from down below. Alright guys, that is the peak from down below. Looks really nice, matches the 712 brake that's on the overhang. And that is all there is to that, and that is how you install a drip and rake edge. So comment below if that was helpful or not. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to subscribe and smash that like button, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Here's a clip that I didn't put in the video that you may want to see. And if you didn't notice, I didn't have these nails in here a minute ago before I cut this. That way you can lift this up a little easier to cut. So that way it's not tight against the roof when you're cutting. So as you can see there, got that cut flush with the drip edge, and nailed that all the way off every about 12 inches or so. And then if you look from the side, that's what it looks like, and that looks good. And then once your fascia slides up under this, your metal you're wrapping it with, you'll nail it tight and nail the side tight, and it seals that crack, and then you put a little white caulk there for extra sealant. But yeah, so that is how you install drip edge and a rake edge. That's what it looks like from the side view, and I want to show you that peak from down below.